Today's video is brought to you by Grey Viking Games. Click the link in the description below to buy MTG Arena codes for cosmetics, packs, and more. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun playing Magic, and we have been having fun playing Magic for 1,111 videos. And so I decided to celebrate a little bit today by playing 1,111 1-drops, or as many as we can fit in a 6-card deck. And so I'm really excited for this one. I've done this type of thing in a few different decks, different colors, but I've never done it in blue. So we're diving into Historic today, doing mono 1-drop, mono blue tempo with this one, and I'm really excited to try it out. So first off, I actually have some big news to talk about. So Wizards of the Coast just really reached out to us and all the creators and said that there's not going to be a pre-release event for tomorrow, and so that's what we're expecting for Strixhaven. They are discontinuing the pre-release event. I want to share a couple of my thoughts about that real quick, just because this is the main place to be doing that. Anyway, my thoughts on it is I think it's actually a good idea that they're getting rid of the early access event. I think it's very bad of them to do it the day before. Like they send out an email at like 10:30 at night Pacific time, which means most people on the East Coast didn't get it till like way in the morning or whatever. And it's just kind of a slap in the face towards creators. But that's what you get used to as a creator that does Magic the Gathering. And so it's okay. Basically, I'm just going to try to make good content for you guys for tomorrow as well. And then we're going to be hitting Strixhaven stuff on the 15th on Thursday. And really excited to be diving into that. Yeah, that's where I'll cap my thoughts off there. There's lots more, but that's it. All right, so in this deck, we have our creatures here. We have Ascended Spirits, Mistcloak Herald, Terramander, and Slitherblade. Mistcloak Herald and Slitherblade are our perfect, can't be blocked creatures for Curiosities and Curious Obsessions. There are a lot of people that will just insta-scoop to having a couple of these on the battlefield with Curiosity and Curious Obsession, and it's fantastic. Just because they expect us to have a lot of other things, and we don't. We just have 1-drops, but Spell Pierces, we can kind of keep hitting our counter spells there. We have Dive Downs for some protection. We have Ops to make sure that we kind of keep getting the things that we're needing, and then Unsummons. There are a couple other counter spells in the 1-drop slot that you can play, things like counter artifacts and enchantments, things that kind of do a little bit more there. It might be worth playing, but I feel like Unsummon is kind of, it hits everything, I guess all creatures at least, and it lets us keep playing tempo. Terramander and Ascendant Spirit are ways to win the game with damage, basically. So Ascendant Spirit, 1 mana 1/1, but with our snow lands that we have here, we can turn it into a 2/3, a 4/4, a 6/6, an 8/8, all the good stuff if we keep hitting lands. We're running 20 lands, where I feel like with all 1-drops you should be running like 18 or 16 lands. We're running 20 lands because we want to be able to pay for this ability earlier than later, to be able to get up to 3, the 4/4 or the 6/6. We want to be able to do that on curve some of the time at least. And so I think that Ascendant Spirit is nice for that. There are some times that it just goes unanswered and then it answers their life. Anyway, Terramander also awesome. 1 mana 1/1, but we can adapt. It costs 1 less to adapt for each instant sorcery in the graveyard, but we can adapt for 8, and it put 4 +++ encounters on it. And also it's a flying 5/5, which is, good stuff. And so that's basically the game plan. Is we have a bunch of evasive creatures, except for the Ascendant Spirit, which is only evasive later on, but it's also a good finisher, and it also gives itself its own Curiosity, basically. Then you put Curiosity and Curious Obsession onto one of these guys, you hit in for damage, you keep getting value, try to keep as much stuff off their board as possible, try to win with damage. Faceless Haven also coming in to be able to help us with that. We might want one more Faceless Haven here, actually. We're going to try it that way. And that's it, guys. Let's go and jump into the gameplay, see how it does for us, and wish me luck. Here we go. All right, up against Shingalar, and a pretty sweet hand here. We have the Slitherblade. We have, this is good stuff. We're keeping this. Slitherblade into Curious Obsession into, protection. And then Ascendant Spirit, and we can pump it on the end step on turn 3. Now we got our 3rd land. Then pump it again to attack in. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're going to be on a mirror match here. Another mono blue tempo deck. They're really making a decision here what they want to play. Do I play a second land? I don't know. My heart's just not in it, Oh man. So my thoughts again, we'll dive a little bit further into the what's going down in the world. So got the Curious Obsession, which is awesome. Take action, have the protection, pass the turn. What am I trying to say? Wizards canceled the early access event, which is, in my opinion, rather frustrating. We're gonna go ahead and opt here. Hopefully they don't have anything to kill this now. We already have 2 defenses, and we're gonna be worried more about board wipes. So we want another Spell Pierce, I think, instead of a Dive Down. Faceless Haven is awesome. Okay, so we attack in first. We're actually drawing really well with this deck. Sorry, I keep getting distracted with what I'm trying to say because the game is, being played, and I can't do 2 things at once. Jeez, guys, what do you think? Who do you think I am? All right, pass the turn. The early access event is awesome for streamers. It's really cool. The whole creators program in general, I've not been a big fan of. I've not liked how they've handled things consistently with it. When it comes to YouTube, they did a lot of really cool things for Twitch streamers and for everything like that. And I actually ended up having a full conversation with people. All right, let's see. Dive down onto the Slither Blade. Yep. And then they probably have a counter spell, which then we Spell Pierce that. All right. Okay, foretells something. Another Doomscar they don't have the mana for, which they will be able to pay for the Spell Pierce soon. So we throw out Faceless Haven. We throw out Curious Obsession onto the Ascendant Spirit, I believe. They can block here, and that's fine. I guess I could have just put it there because they can't actually block that one at all. But it just means I can attack in and get through for damage. Okay, pass the turn. Yeah, I bet the way that they created the whole creators program. So they initially did it 2 years ago, where it was just, you send an email to them, they check out your stuff, and they accept you or don't accept you, based on credentials, based off whatever. And if they didn't accept you, then see, we got a Curiosity as well. Ooh, Delali. We do really want to draw into another. Maybe I want to hold on to that, actually. We want to draw into another Spell Pierce if possible. So attack in. I think what I want to do is I'm just going to pump this into the Angel Warrior. Hit for 7. That's a decent amount of damage. Or so I'm told. Draw a couple more cards. Spell Pierce? Not a Spell Pierce. All right, that's fine. We don't have to discard, right? Pass the turn. And so they put all the focus onto the Twitch streamers, but the issue is that then they shifted. They're like, okay, this thing is working for us so well. Man, they have the 2 mana every time. They have the 2 mana. All right, well, we have Faceless Haven to still be hitting in with, so this is fine. I'm debating if I want to force them to pay it here, just so that they don't have any mana for the next turn, because that can be decent for us. We'll let it happen. Let's play out another Faceless Haven. Tap this one. Hit for 4. And we'll go Ascendant Spirit number 2. Is that a bunch of Sock Comings? How badly do I want this to resolve? It's another threat that they have to deal with. So it forces them to like play board wipe or something here. So let's go ahead and dispel Pierce now. I think this is one of our best chances to get ahead. We have 2 Faceless Havens, and so we can kind of deal with that pretty well. Anyway, so they ended up creating a system where you had to okay, opponent ships up. There we go. Nice. Dude, we won. We won against like a really good deck too. I mean, they drew kind of funkily, but it's all good. And we won while I was trying to tell a story ineffectively. Okay, so just real quick. So the creators program, what they did is that they created a bunch of systems where like you had to play certain weird decks, or you had to do like 4 hours of this stuff, or you have to raid people, all that kind of stuff. Things that if you're a YouTuber, you just missed out on. You weren't able to do it. They created some extra stuff for just the YouTube side of like streaming, but it was all, you had to do live streaming. You had to do that. You couldn't just be a YouTuber and be a part of the creator program. And I complained about it a couple times and finally got in contact with like the head guy. What I done actually is I moved over to being just a Twitch streamer for a while because I wanted the advantages, everything like that. I didn't actually contact too many people at once, but then finally we ended up having a conversation, and we ended up going back for 3 or 4 days of just kind of conversing over and over again. And it kind of came to this point where I just voiced my opinion, like the creator program is not good for YouTubers. Like it doesn't work. Like the people you're bringing in, like, and it's great for Twitch streamers, I'll everything like that, but it really isolates everyone else. And then they even got to the point where they were like, you have to be in the creator program with Twitch to even get access to the early access event. And so it's like, you have to be a Twitch streamer. And there were some YouTubers that either had to go in and contact them to make sure that they could actually get in, or they missed out on it. And it became really, really frustrating. And so first off, I think that the early access event doesn't need to be a thing. I think that it's actually better that it isn't, because it's a feel bad thing for viewers. It's a feel bad thing for everyone that doesn't get to do the early access stuff. Yay, we get to watch other people play for a day earlier than we get to, which was cool because it helps support creators and content creators, which, I mean, it does behoove the Wizards of the Coast to help, help us out, do better stuff. Like with me doing 1,111 videos all around Magic, I've had a few that aren't, but all based around Magic in general. I mean, that's a lot of Magic, like publicity. That's a lot of stuff that's focused on Magic the Gathering, being a good gamer, think that. And I would say that the revenue that I brought in, just from what I've seen of other sites that I've helped bring in, everything like that, and then adding into that going to the same way for Arena, everything like that, just me, a nobody, really. Like I'm on the top end of the nobodies, maybe. And basically, I've probably brought in, I would say shy of $500,000 in revenue for Wizards of the Coast, but not too much shy of that. So and that's me and nobody. People that are bigger are doing much, much more. And so is it worthwhile to give creators like me a kickback, or not a kickback, but a benefit for working with them? Like, we want you to keep playing our game instead of other stuff. We want to keep, giving you things like, we want to say thank you for doing that. That's the whole idea of the early access event and everything like that, is that that's what it's supposed to be. And I feel like Wizards of the Coast keeps changing things up. The person I ended up talking to, we ended up having a really good conversation. He was trying to get stuff to happen, but little did I know that he was, his contract for them, he wasn't even a part of Wizards of the Coast. He was just a contracted person for doing social media or like dealing with that kind of stuff. And they weren't going to renew his contract, or they didn't end up doing it. And so there's someone completely new. All of the conversations that I ended up having, all the progress that we'd made is all out the window. And anyway, it gets really frustrating. And so there's always these slaps in the faces when it comes to being a creator with all this, but I still love Magic. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, I absolutely love Magic. And so I want to keep doing this fun stuff, but what I'm trying to say though, is that it does get frustrating sometimes, because Wizards makes it very difficult to deal with them with trying to do all this stuff. And so the creator program just doesn't work quite as well for what we're trying to do. All right, that's it. Let's dive into the next game. All right, up against Darth Spider Den, and keep in this hand, we have all of our creatures. We probably should try to make sure we have a Curious Obsession or something like that, but we have all the creatures. Let's lead off with, I think, Slitherblade. We're gonna try to get in as much damage with these guys as we can. Ascendant Spirit could be really nice to get out first as well, though. Don't know. Finding another creature there wasn't the greatest. Eliminates. Cool. Okay, Ascendant Spirit and Slitherblade pass the turn. So, in case you didn't know, we're a little bit susceptible to board wipes, especially if we don't have a Spell Pierce to counter it. That's going to be bad. Willful Haven comes down up against the Ultimatum deck, which actually is probably one of our better matchups if we have, you know, good cards coming in here, which now we do. Let's go ahead and I might actually just grow the Ascendant Spirit, hold on to the Terramanders for later, and play the Spell Pierce. So let's go ahead and attack in. We don't have any instants of sorceries in the graveyard for Terramander, so they become very useless. They're just 1 damage, and I can get that extra 1 damage just by pumping this a couple of times, and that's just better. So now we have Spell Pierce held up. We can play out the Faceless Haven next turn, pump for 3, and still hold on to Spell Pierce. And then we can hopefully win with a Spell Pierce, because that's how amazing that card is. Hopefully. All right, they're a ways off, I believe, still of their ultimatum. They still have to have another black source, and that's all they're missing. So, you know, not scared at all. All right, let's go Faceless Haven. We're basically telegraphing that we have something here, but that's fine. We're gonna hit for 5. Down to 12, pass the turn. And then we get to have Faceless Haven for afterwards, which is great. Yorion's still a little bit scary, though. Extinction Event. They have the 2 to pay for it here. Dang it. Let's hope they mess up. Otherwise, I think we're just skipping. we had our shot. Oh, how dare he? Yeah, okay. Oh, man. Yeah. You know, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay in it. They didn't have removal for Faceless Haven now because of our brilliance and stopping them there. And we're going to go play out Terramander and pass the turn. That's right. Fear me. They seem less afraid all of a sudden. I don't know why. And we scoop. Like, there's not really a way back from this, right? Right? We decided that? Okay, cool. I could have Spell Pierced that right then. Oh, man. On to the next one. All right, I'm against Pasab, and this is a beautiful hand, so we're going to keep it. We do need more damage output at some point. Oh, boy. Miss Cloak Herald. Clearly not going to die. So I'm not even worried about it. We really need to be on the play with this deck. I think playing all the 1-drops, it might just be a better thing to do to, you know, not end up being dead. They let us keep a land here. We have the dive down, which is nice. All right. So now we go Curious Obsession. We get to hold up Spell Pierce and dive down. Yeah, let's go dive down. They probably will end up killing it on this next turn, but that's more spells that aren't targeted at our face, which is good stuff. Spell Pierce can counter the things that go at our face, and so dive down first. I'm talking like I'm trying to give strategy for how to play an all 1-drop deck. You guys just, the strategy is don't do this. Yeah, it's a bad idea. It ain't great, okay? Only a doofus would do this. This guy. Man, we have too many lands. Way too many lands. Pass the turn. So clearly the answer is to bounce the Pyromancer here, because it doesn't have a good ETB effect at all or anything like that. All right, we're going to say no blocks. Down to 8. We're going to bounce. The only thing that doesn't have haste or have a good thing, because that's what we got. All right, we have Opt and Spell here. Says we need creatures. We are actually going to block with this Faceless Haven. And see how that does it for us. Hitting it for 4 doesn't make any sense. And so we're just going to have to play it a bit defensively. We're not done yet, but this is a really bad matchup for us. I would assume. Ah, yeah. Fear me. Or kill that. That's fine too. Yeah, okay. Gonna add mana. And we concede. All right, on to the next one. Up against Lychee Mochi, and keep this. Have you ever had a lychee? So when I was living in Hawaii, I got my first experience of actually having a lychee, and let me tell you, it's a phenomenal experience. It is so good. Oh, it makes me happy. Waste not. Ooh, is this whenever I discard stuff? That's not going to be that great for us. Not getting the +1/+1 for the Curiosity is a little bit annoying. We do actually need like damage output at some point with this deck. Should I just throw some stuff out? I can opt. Yeah, let's just pass the turn. If we're trying to go a little bit more aggressive, Mystical Herald could be nice there, but otherwise, it's all good. Heartless Act. Unsummoning it, what does that actually do for us? I don't think anything here. So yeah, we'll let it die. We didn't have a Spell Pierce. We didn't find it in time. To the bottom. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're drawing way too many lands. And there's the thing that we needed forever ago. Pass the turn. Not so good. So whenever we discard a land, they can add mana. Whenever we discard a non-creature card, they draw a card. All right, so we Spell Pierce. Terramander is interesting. We're going to hold off on the Terramander for now. We're getting up to 5 mana, which means we can actually get there pretty quickly if we just like Cassion summons, but we don't want to Cassion summons just yet. Although they might end up getting discarded. We don't have protection for it though. Yeah, pass the turn. I'd rather play it out and put the counters on it right away, especially in response to a Heartless Act or some shenanigans. All right, so they get to draw a card if it's a non-land card. We do want these unsummons in the graveyard, even though they're going to... Yeah. So we'll let them draw a card here. It's a completely useless card, except for protecting our own guys, which is also kind of a completely useless thing to do at the moment. Oh my gosh. Can you draw worse than this? I don't know. You know? Okay, now we'll protect it. How about that? All right, pass turn. As long as we can keep Terramander in our hand, then we're okay here. And by okay, I mean we might have a small, little bit of chance there. So they can't have any more discard in their hand with 4 cards in hand. The odds of that are very slim, in case you didn't know. Wrinkle. They don't go to combat? Oh, whoa. Wowzers. Okay. So 3 mana to activate. Let's go and get 2 of them out here. All right, so Fatal Push is the most annoying thing. We do get to pump these guys to dodge Heartless Act, at least. I probably should have pumped one of them right then, just because I think they didn't have enough mana for it. All right, I'm actually going to activate this now before blocks, because I don't want them to get me on the, like, I block them and then pump and then they kill it anyway or something like that, or they have removal then. Languish. Oh. Well played, sir. Well, you can't discard stuff if I'm empty-handed. Booyah. Faceless Haven. Oh yeah, drawing all the goods. Now we drew 3 of our worst card that we can draw in this matchup, because, you know, sometimes, yeah, that's just what you got to do. The Eldest Reborn. So we're going to sacrifice a creature, Planeswalker, right then. That's bad stuff. Spell Pierce gets countered or gets discarded here. We can't do anything about it, because we can't play it unless they cast something on their upkeep, and which would be awesome. Yep. You get to draw a card, friend. The Eldest Reborn. This is a card that has not seen play in a while, and that's a sad thing, because honestly, it's such a good card. Now, surprisingly enough, an unsummon wouldn't be the worst. This one's over though, right? You know what? Maybe it's not. We're gonna go ahead and throw this on there. So once it becomes a land again, you actually lose it. So it's not a good thing to put this onto, because it says enchant creature. As soon as it stops being a creature, it stops being an aura. Like, it stops being a valid target for the aura. I did that to show you guys, you know, what's going on. Yeah, we're definitely done here. Alrighty then. All right, up against Cleek. We're gonna go ahead and keep this hand. It's a 1-land hand, but if any deck can deal with that, it's us, you know. Oh man, all of the unsummons again. Curious Obsession on the next turn. I figured we were on the draw as well, that we should absolutely hit a land by the next turn with 2 more draws. Bishop of Wings. Terrifying. Nailed it. Called it. We're good. All right, let's draw a card. Get them back down to the starting life total. So our tempo deck, I don't think is going to deal with life gain very well. Another Bishop of Wings. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and unsummon something. I should have unsummoned. Nah, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, that was a bad idea. Okay, Ascendant Spirit. Pass the turn. We're so far behind at this point. Righteous Valkyrie. Yeah, we're done. We're done here. They get up to this 7 there. I can balance the Righteous Valkyrie so they can do it again, and life would be fantastic. Yeah, that's not one that we're gonna beat, and that's okay. All right, guys, we ended up going 2-4 at this stack, and you're wondering, where did the second win come from? Someone insta-scooped, like, as soon as it started, so I didn't show it, but you know, I got that second win. I love how we were on the draw 5 times as well there, so yes, that's how it goes for me. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to do a quick celebration of 1-drops, or, you know, 1-1-1-1 videos. So thank you guys. I'm sorry this deck wasn't something super phenomenal, fantastic, but I hope you at least enjoyed the meme for this one, and also the story time of what's going down with the creators and all that kind of stuff. And you know, it's okay. Wizards is doing lots of stuff. I just wish that they would put a little bit more focus into knowing how YouTube works. They don't put focus that much on YouTube itself. If you're a Twitch streamer, you get a lot of attention. If you have a big Twitter fan base, you get a lot of attention. If you had 3 times the size of base on YouTube, however, you're forgotten and not liked very much. And if you have even like bigger audiences on YouTube, sometimes they don't even recognize you exist. I mean, I'm not the only person that's dealing with this. You know, Tolarian Community College gets that hand a lot of the time, as well as a bunch of others. It's kind of sad, and I'm not sure why that is. Leave it down in the comments below if you guys can think of a reason. This is not in any way to be ragging on Wizards of the Coast. That's not my goal. I think that they're dealing with a lot of things as well. It's just a frustration. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next one. Like, subscribe, and bye.